The ECOWAS protocol. The ECOWAS protocol. I have worked with AU.
Right.
I was a policy associate in AU Addis Ababa in the office of the Secretary General.
Right.
During my time, the Secretary General was Ben Murad from Tunisia. So the protocol, I understand. It should not take the US to get us to implement our ECOWAS protocols. The ECOWAS protocols are clear. Free movement, facilitate trade, and all those pointers that the protocol outlines.
Yeah.
So I struggle. Maybe the NDC or government should give us another defense to this whole issue than resorting to the ECOWAS protocol. Because when you resort to the ECOWAS protocol, I find it difficult because the ECOWAS protocol was clear. And these people that we are talking about, they are not traveling from Togo to Ghana. They are not traveling from Burkina to Ghana, or from Gambia to Ghana, or from Nigeria to Ghana. So it should not take the US to force us to implement a protocol we have agreed to. So I find it extremely difficult when they want to hinge on to the ECOWAS protocol. Because as we stand now, the ECOWAS protocol is in place. I have friends from Tanzania who came to visit me. I have friends from Zambia who comes to visit me. I have friends from all over. So it is not as if we are against the ECOWAS protocol, no. But it should not take the US to force us or to go into an agreement or arrangement with us to implement the ECOWAS protocol.
But Anat, this one is not a case of, and again, I stand to be corrected on this, but this one is not a case of people voluntarily deciding where they want to go and where they can't go and so on, where because of the ECOWAS protocols, you can decide to move from Togo to Ghana, Ghana to Nigeria, Nigeria to Benin, Ivory Coast, and so on. So the circumstances, as we're talking about here,
my point
is that these are people who have been thrown out of America.
So our point is clear.
Yes.
You can give us another defense.
Okay.
But don't tell us that in the spirit of the ECOWAS protocol.
Right.
Because what is happening is not in the spirit of the ECOWAS protocol.
Okay.
So you can give us a different excuse or reason or justification.
Okay.
Don't come under the guise of the ECOWAS protocol. That is our point. Now, again, let us underscore that the minority is not against Ghana trying to be a shining star. We are not against it. We are not against any humanitarian grounds or basis. In fact, I've not heard any minority member, so far as I am concerned, saying that we are against any humanitarian extension or treatment that we are giving or extending to our colleagues. We are not. So let that impression not be created as though the minority is against. If the president, who Ghanaians have voted for, wants to absolve all the deportees in Ghana, it doesn't lie with us to accept or disagree. It is not for us to do it. If they find it fit and they want to do it, they have the rights to do it. The good people of Ghana has given them the mandate. What we are saying is that we believe that per precedent, per rulings, per antecedents, this matter must come to Parliament.
But now he explains to you that this particular issue is different from the GitMo 2. And he cites the fact that in the case of GitMo 2, these are non-Africans, they are non-West Africans.
And criminals.
Okay? They don't have the kind of right of movement, which has been granted by the ECOWAS protocols as compared to what we have. And so as far as he's concerned, and indeed, that particular interview you're talking about, I've had to go and watch that interview because of the conversation that's happening. And in that interview, Ablakwa tells us that the reason why Parliament doesn't have to ratify that MOU now is because the Attorney General, Dominic Akuritinga Ayeni, tells him and said it in cabinet that as far as his reading of the law and the ruling with that seminal ruling by Asafo Adjei is concerned, it does not apply to this particular instance. And that is why, as we speak, the matter has not been ratified in Parliament. You're still not convinced?
So
this is the state's
hold on.
legal advisor.
So sincerely speaking, we would want to see the advice,
Okay.
if it's possible.
Right.
And that would make us convinced that indeed Dominic Akrotinga Ayeni gave that advice. I was going to go there and I would read portions of his argument.
Right.
But see, the Article 75 that we are referencing has some analogy. That is, any time that the government of Ghana is entering or executing any treaty, the Article 75 recommends or directs that it goes to Parliament. Now, let us also look at the dictum of Asafo-Adjei. So there is a certain analogy or there's a certain historical antecedent underpinning the Article 75 we have now. Now, Asafo-Adjei said that we must always construe the Constitution as a living organism that have the ability of growth. So the Constitution will evolve and it will grow. So Article 75, in the 1969 Constitution, it was around Article 59. I stand to be corrected. I'm not a legal person, but I stand to be corrected. That says that a president may execute treaty. Then the B part is that the president must go to Parliament for treaties that is written or have the ambit of Parliament. It must go to Parliament. So when you look at the article, the 1969 Constitution, and that article, it was limited. It only talks about a category of treaties, of agreement, of understandings. Then we had the 1979 Constitution. And then Article 62 in the 1979 Constitution is the same as Article 75 in the 1992 Constitution today, right, which now says that any form of agreement or treaty. So this was the argument, the historical argument Balfour gave in the issue with the GitMo that made the court give that ruling they gave. This is the historical antecedent.
You're suggesting that the ruling didn't make any exception?
No, I'm going there. I'm gradually going there.
Okay.
Now, so for me, it is not about GitMo. It is not about whether they are African. It is not about whether they have free movement. That is not the point. Okay. We go to court largely, not because the cases are similar. Not because they are the same case.
Yeah.
No, but they are similar. That is why we make references, we pick cases, we cite cases from all over to defend or buttress the point. We are not saying that the deportees are Yemens or they are from Guantanamo Bay. We are not saying that. What we are saying is that the rulings from Margaret Bamfo, Nanabi, and the Attorney General, and even Roger Jemfi, has one underlying principle. The underlying principle is that any arrangement that the good people of Ghana would enter into with any country that imposes an obligation on the good people of Ghana qualifies under Article 75.
Right.
That is our argument. And it is clear. Look, that is why I say that when you, Attorney General, he was then the Deputy Attorney General in the first Mahama administration. And in the first Mahama administration, he handled the Margaret Bamfo, Nanabi, and the Attorney General case. He handled it. He made an argument here, and I want to read. He said, he urged that the Supreme Court make a distinction between an agreement intended to create a legal liability and one which, although made between two state parties, is not intended to create legally binding obligation or right. This was Dominic Krotinga Ayini's argument on the GitMo 2 matter. This was his argument. Now the court ruled, or the court held, that where by various forms of documentation, the government of Ghana binds the Republic of Ghana to certain obligations in relation to another country or group of countries, an international agreement comes into existence. So, the minority, I mean, we seek not to frustrate government. We cannot even frustrate government. What we are saying is that let no future government come with other arrangements they have had with various countries and then clothe it in the name of nomenclature. This is MOU. This is, even if you look at some of the rulings, they really even go as far as saying that even a note verbal, so far as it places an obligation on the good people of Ghana, that discussion must come to Parliament. You see, Ghana, we are a dualist state. So what the monarchy states like US will sign treaties, will sign agreement that automatically binds and comes into law. When we do, it must come to Parliament for ratification before.
Okay.
Now, he was mentioning that they would exploit the avenue or the opportunity to come to Parliament if they are, if I got it right, if they are set and good with all the things they are looking for. You see, you have begin executing the tenets of the memorandum. You have begin executing the tenets of the memorandum. And it is important that we know
how they bring
that all these things that you are raising, all these things that you are doing, you have already accepted some. There are other on the way. So you want to tell us that we should sit down. Ghana should wait for you to accept all the people you want to accept. When you are done accepting them, now you come to Parliament to come and tell us that, okay, so we accepted 200, we accepted 300. No, the intention, the menstrual, must come for the good people of Ghana to accept the menstrual.
Okay. Before it takes effect.
Before you begin implementing and executing the dictates of the understanding.
Okay.
So the position of minority is clear and simple. We are not, look, like I said in one of the other stations, that when it comes to Parliament, it is not for us to frustrate. We don't even have the numbers to do so.
Right.
The Committee for Foreign Affairs, we are 17 in number. Only 5 of us are MPP.
Right.
12 are NDC. It is the same with all the committees, legal and constitution, all these committees. So the position of the minority is not to frustrate government, but like I said, for posterity, so that in future, the Asafo-Adjei government will not enter into an arrangement with another country and come and tell Ghanaians that, oh, this one is a memorandum. So we will not do the needful.
All right.
That is all we are.
Okay, that's fine.